Today on Island Focus, you will enjoy meeting Patrick Sullivan, who is the CEO and founder of Oceanit. So nice to see you again. It's been months, Patrick.
Thanks. It's great to see you, and thanks for having me.
Much has happened since you were last on our program earlier this year. Maybe you can share with us where Oceanit is now, and as we look at re-envisioning the economy, what does that look like for you?
Well, there's a couple probably key things worth mentioning. One is I have a book that came out in August. It's called Intellectual Anarchy, The Art of Disruptive Innovation. It's about how we create the future from Hawaii is really what the story is. We kind of review what we do at Oceanit, but it's from the middle of the sea to the world. And that is the exact perspective of what's in the book. And I kind of walk through how we think, which kind of brings me to the next thing is we're in the process of launching a saliva test for COVID-19. The story of the test goes back to what we do in the book. For example, we started developing a new kind of artificial intelligence about 6 years ago, a human style, a linguistic Turing machine version. And then 3 years ago with DARPA, we decided to apply it to biology, causality in biology. Can I design a molecule or design a solution for something like cancer? That's what we've been working on. Then when COVID hit, we said, we produced a tool set we call the grammar of RNA. Can we apply the tool set to this virus? And so we did. And we've been collaborating with Queens and University of Hawaii. We produce now a molecule. We're in clinical testing. We should be able to get it filed, hopefully, end of this week or next week. It's a bit of a scavenger hunt to get all the data and all the testing necessary, but we're going to file that. The important thing about that, then, is that it's a technology that was created here in Hawaii from scratch. It has the potential to create a new industry, and in that industry are jobs. So if you look at jobs, for each R&D job, you're going to produce maybe up to 2 manufacturing jobs. And in a place like Orange County, it actually turns out it's 8 to 1. But manufacturing for a technology invented here where you're producing a molecule and you're packaging it, you can almost envision it like producing and exporting coffee, except it's smaller. And it's a unique thing that was invented here. It's a molecule that we can synthesize here. With that comes the basis of a new industry that can produce all kinds of therapies and things way beyond COVID.
It's very exciting to think that it emanates from Hawaii, whatever it is, whatever the industry is, but definitely the work that you're doing. Huge implications on our education system here.
And that's the key for this whole thing is education. And I think that makes University of Hawaii the most important institution in the state because the two ingredients to build a future are education and imagination. So you have to imagine a future, but you can create the future with the education. You can either invent tools or you can produce tools where things that were not possible become possible because technology marches on. Things that were unthinkable become common. So just take the idea of a jet flight from the West Coast to Hawaii. In 1959 began this thing where today we say it's quite common. It's silly to think about it. It was not possible because the technology wasn't there to transit the Pacific in just a matter of, at that time, I think instead of the propeller, which would get you here maybe 14 hours, you could go in a jet engine or jet airplane for less than half the time.
Maybe we should ask some of our kindergartners for their ideas.
Absolutely. Kids are a wonderful source because they don't know what can't be done. And I think sometimes, they kind of surrender their imagination as they grow up, but when they're little, they imagine all kinds of amazing things.
Especially as we look at your background that says technology petting zoo. Parting thoughts for the audience in terms of what we can look forward to.
Although the visitor industry has been wonderful for a lot of things and for a lot of reasons and for a lot of people, but we can do more and we can do better. And I think we can create a more diverse economy if we can unlock the power of imagination. and feed it with education.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your imagination and your commitment to putting Hawaii in the forefront of reimagining our economy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo for joining us on Island Focus and joining me in my conversation with Dr. Patrick Sullivan, who's CEO and founder of Oceanit. Aloha.